What's poppin', everybody? This is Wolf 4. So recently I've been commenting a lot on Isle of Armor videos on YouTube. Ever since the DLC came out, I've been checking out videos about it and seeing what's up. And I also got kind of in a few heated arguments on Facebook about the Shiny Zero Aura event. It's pretty unusual for me, to be honest, to be hanging around on social media and talking about stuff like this that's not really that important. But I thought to myself, might as well make a video about it since this has been on my mind. So first, a disclaimer, because I think it's a pretty fair thing to mention. I have not played the Isle of Armor, and I don't actually even own any of the Sword and Shield games. Never played them. And I say this because, yeah, if you haven't played or experienced a game for yourself, then you can't really know 100% for sure if you like or don't like it. At the same time, though, it's kind of like food. Like, let's say you're a picky eater. You know what you like and don't like to eat. And maybe you try something out, your instinct is telling you you're not going to like it, you end up liking it. But there's all the other hundreds of times that you tried something and ended up not liking it. So what I'm saying here is that I've seen enough to get a feel of whether or not I would like this DLC. And it's not even about the DLC, if I'm going to like it or not. If it's worth the money compared to other DLC for other games. So let's start by how much time you need to beat the Isle of Armor. And from what I could gather from many different types of videos I saw, everyone agrees that you need a couple of hours basically to beat it. Give or take, depending on how fast you do it, or if you take your time, it's agreed upon that in a couple of hours you should finish the main campaign. You got an event Pokemon that's handed out to you as usual, and some Battle Tower-esque facilities that could have been in the original game. Hell, you could say the whole Isle of Armor DLC could have been in the main game, but let's not get into that. I understand that Pokemon can follow you around, which is pretty cool for a lot of people, but it's also kind of universally agreed that they implemented this in a usual half-assed fashion, with some Pokemon following you around as they normally would, and then other ones that take freaking forever to follow you. And this isn't stuff like Slowpoke or Golem or Snorlax or whatever. We're talking about even fast Pokemon, like Dragapult and Mewtwo seem to be good examples from what I've seen. And finally, you get another wild area, which I don't know exactly how big it is, but I don't think it would be as big as the whole wild area in the main game. And you get to catch some of the old school Pokemon that we used to have for free in games. So, this couple of hours of content is $15. $15 for this stuff. And people think it's worth to pay. Now, people are entitled to pay as much money as they want for anything if they feel like it's worth it. But I'm gonna keep it real, and this is the best example that I could ever think of. Bloodborne had one DLC expansion that cost 15 or 16 pounds when it was launched. If you go right now in the PlayStation Store, you can get the whole game with the DLC for 12 pounds. And ask me if Pokemon are gonna do the same thing with Sword and Shield. Like, you can buy Sword and Shield for 12 pounds with the DLC in 5 years. No way. But let's not get into that. The DLC for that game originally cost 15 or 16 pounds, I don't remember. Never mind that it graphically looks better, it has real, lengthy content with a replay value. From new, full-fledged stages and areas, new meaningful weapons, bosses, a story arc that actually expands from the main game and gives us more clues of what the deal was. You guys get the idea. That DLC can take you hours, and I remember when I first played it, I was like, it's still going, there's still another area after this, there's still another boss, there's still some more shit. This is how you fucking make valuable DLC. Now, to be honest, Bloodborne might even be like the most extreme example. Like, even if the Pokemon DLC was half the Bloodborne DLC, it still would have been a hell of a lot better. But this is the point that I'm trying to make. How can people be eating this up? But I know why they're eating it up. It's because it's Pokemon. Because it's Pokemon, it's like some sort of drug. It's like, no matter what, we gotta get this shit. Like, could you imagine, let's say Rockstar. They came out with Grand Theft Auto 5. They came out with Red Dead Redemption 2. Yes, I know they've got some questionable development practices and they make the employees work like hell. But that's a different topic. Imagine like they came out with Red Redemption 3 and it was a billion times worse than Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Redemption 1. do you think people would still be like, man, it's Red Dead Redemption, gotta buy it, even if it looks shit, even if it's much shorter, even if it's shittier? Do you think people would do that? But it's like I've said, Pokemon, it's kind of like a damn religion. I guess you gotta be involved no matter what until you get sick of it. And I wonder if the players today that are cool with it are gonna be sick of it someday. I don't know. And then for the whole Pokemon Home Zero Aura event thing, for everybody saying, oh, it's optional, Pokemon Home, it's optional and free. Let me tell you guys something, and Jim Sterling says this sometimes too. No company makes something like a service or a product and they don't want you to use it or get it. The Pokemon Company made Pokemon Home and they want you to use it. That's why they did this whole Zero Aura event thing. It's like an incentive to push the service. And yeah, more power to them. You gotta incentivize people to use your service. But when I say that, yeah, I can see how they're planning this and how they're sort of manipulating in kind of a soft way people to use this service. You get some naive people that get pissed at you. And that's another thing I don't understand. Why would you need, like if you get the paid service, let's say, and it's the same for Pokemon Bank, why would you need thousands of spaces to store Pokemon? Like I used to do competitive Wi-Fi battling and I trained hundreds of different Pokemon with different movesets, like Pokemon with different movesets and different EV spreads and what have you. So I know how it is, and I never needed something like Pokemon Home. And for the people that, let's say, want to hatch shiny Pokemon or just shiny Pokemon with some egg moves and what have you, you can just release like all of the other non-shiny Pokemon that hatched. And you don't even have to get rid of all of them. You can just keep a few extras and then you can just get rid of all of the other hundreds of duplicates that you don't need. And you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say this, getting back into the DLC. The worst part out of all of the DLC is what the fuck they did with the cut Pokemon. Like, before we even knew there was gonna be DLC for this game, I remember seeing some people saying that, oh yeah, the Pokemon they cut, they're gonna put them as DLC and make you pay for it. And I was actually thinking to myself that no, they're not gonna do it. They cut them for some stupid reasons out of the main game, and Junichi Masuda was firm about the decision and what have you. That's probably just how it's gonna be from now on, no games with the full Pokedexes and stuff. I was actually surprised when they handled the Pokemon like this. I didn't think they would do it. To be honest with you, this is gonna sound shit, but it's actually worse that they did release the Pokemon in this fashion. Like, it makes them look worse than if they didn't release them at all. And just remain firm that, yeah, we can't do the Pokedex, we're not gonna do the whole Pokedex, and that's it. I mean, fuck, it's great that we got more Pokemon in the end, like the people that have the games got more Pokemon in the end, and the National Dex is more expanded now. But it was still a really fucked up move they pulled. And people are right to say that in the end, because of what they did, it just makes all of the other stuff they were saying before the DLC just lame ass excuses. But anyways, I don't know where I'm going with this video anymore. The thing is that if I were to put a price for this DLC, like at least the first part of Olive Armor, I think $8 at best is fair enough for it. And realistically, a lot of the stuff like the extra battle facilities and the old Pokemon they included here, it should have been stuff in the main game. A main game that didn't have a jack shit post game, by the way. But anyways, this has been my rant. Like I've said, this is just a natural evolution of the franchise. It's kind of inevitable. I can't even blame them, to be honest, for what they're doing. It's catering to the new generations, making sure they try and get new people in, and any of the older guys that are still buying these games, they're just a bonus. I said this hundreds of times. But anyway, Saberwolf94, thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments if you agree or if you think I'm a jackass. At least try and be civil and try and make a good argument. Don't tell me that I'm crying or that I'm an idiot like that other guy on Facebook did. I'm looking at this as a guy that grew up with the good quality games that Junichi Masuda made, with great level design, exploration, thoughtful map design, and just games that had a great air of mysteriousness to them. You know, these were the best parts of games like Gold and Silver, Ruby and Sapphire, Diamond and Pearl, like even the first games, Red, Blue and Yellow, and the first Black and White games. Black and White 2 not so much, but they had other things going for them, I suppose. I look at it like that, not these simplified, vanilla, sort of Disney Pokemon games. Like the fucking art direction, like if you told me that Hao from Sun and Moon is like a cousin of the new rival from Sword and Shield, I'd believe you. and like the main character looking alike to Sun and Moon and X and Y is like, damn. Anyways, and Rant, thank you guys for watching. What's up?